Hello and welcome to Cover 2 TV Daily News with me, Jeno, because no one knows where Steve is, including himself. Chris is busy, but I've been promoted to the real set. So let's begin. First of all, we got Brandon Albert is now doing a U-turn and actually getting in contact with the Jaguars because he wants to return from retirement after only retiring 6 days ago. As I said on my video about his initial retirement, it all seemed to come down to money, and now that Brandon Albert finds out how much money it will cost him to retire when he has to retain the Jacksonville signing bonuses, he doesn't seem interested and he'd rather keep playing just so he doesn't have to pay that money back. So at how I see that Brandon Albert, I still feel sorry for the Jaguars because it's not going to help their line having a left tackle who is only half interested in playing football. That can't be good, and that's how bad franchises stay bad. Speaking of bad franchises, we got the New York Jets best wide receiver, Quincy Enure, has just went down with a neck injury and he's out for the season. So it's all gone wrong for the gangrene. Quincy Enure was actually the bright spark on a terrible offense last season. And now after losing Decker, after losing Marshall, and now Enure, Meek, Steve and Chris are going to be the new wide receivers for the New York Jets. So, sorry Patriots fans, I'm going to have to support the Jets. Also in the news, we found out that Brock Osweiler is expected to start for the Cleveland Browns. This comes after Cody Kessler basically gave up the job. Sorry, not Cody Kessler, Deshaun Kaiser basically gave up the job by not playing very well in the camp practices after apparently being leaps and bounds ahead of Osweiler and taking all the first team reps. Because how poor he's been playing, Brock Osweiler, the much maligned quarterback, is now expected to start for the Browns. So everything's just getting better for the Browns with Brock, who we've now seen at the Texans didn't really work out. He got benched by the Broncos, even though the Broncos were willing to pay him a lot of money to stay. And now he's going to be the #1 quarterback for the Browns. In my opinion, things just keep getting worse for the Browns. Okay, also in our news today, Anquan Boldin has a new job. Anquan Boldin, after saying he's only going to start for a contender, has signed for the Buffalo Bills. Now, I actually expect him to take a lot of snaps for the Bills, a lot more than what you would expect for a 37-year-old now, Boldin. He's had a good 15-year career. I think he'll start opposite Sammy Watkins, and he'll just give Tyler Taylor more of a couple of jump ball specialists. I've always felt Anquan Boldin's very underrated. He took over the games against the Patriots in those Raven playoff games. He was very good for the 49ers. He was very good for the Arizona Cardinals under Kurt Warner. I think people have underappreciated how good he is and how much he just loves playing football, especially for those jump balls. You're not going to see much separation from Anquan anymore, but when the ball's in the air and it's in versus cornerback, I fancy Anquan Boldin. Also, so we got some sad news today, or sad for me. Big Vinny Wilfork has retired. He's hung up his cleats and replaced them with his overalls. Now, I love Vince Wilfork as a Patriots fan. The guy was amazing. He was the Patriots defense from 2009 to about 2013 before his Achilles injury. Because go look at that defense, it is horrible outside of Wilfork. Go look, I mean, when people talk about how good Patriots teams are, look at the 2011 team that went to the Super Bowl against the Giants. Outside of Vince Wilfork, Gerard Mayo and Rob Ninkovich, who also retired recently, that defense is terrible. It was one of the worst defense. Well, it was actually the 31st ranked worst defense in the league. It may be one of the worst defenses to ever play in a Super Bowl. And the only shining light on that was Vince Wilfork, just being so agile, so quick and so explosive and powerful for a man that big. He's going to be a borderline Hall of Famer. He's probably one of my favourite ever players. And the big guy deserves his retirement. And as he said, he's hanging up the cleats and off to start smoke some meats. Next up, we got Brandon Flowers, has also retired. He was a hotshot cornerback that got paid only a few off seasons ago as one of the best free agents. After a few injuries for the Chargers, he got released at the end of the season, and now he's decided to hang up the cleats, even though there was interest expressed by other teams for Brandon. I thought it was interesting because I thought he'd have a team by now, but obviously he's decided he's done with football. It's time to retire, and fair enough to the lad. So that's all for the Daily News today. Thank you for watching. Try and get me on it more because I love me. So don't forget to give us a big thumbs up, subscribe, and ta-ra.